Hello, everyone. This is WVKC, the voice of Knox, and you are listening to The Big Picture, the show where uh, a show where we do lots of things, typically interview, but that isn't what we're doing today. Today, though, I am joined by, once again, Adam Rothkopf.
Hello, I'm Adam Rothkopf once again.
The live might be a little funky, but we are, of course, recording it and we'll upload it to the YouTubes at some point in our future.
Plural, multiple YouTubes.
Yeah, to the YouTubes in
Every
general.
single YouTube there is, we'll cover it.
For sure. Yeah, these mics are all sorts of funky. They don't like to stay one way or the other.
But they are very fun.
They are very fun. I'm going to jostle with this real quick. This is going to be a really laid-back show today. So, as many of you may know, I haven't done a show in eons. I didn't do...
Truly since the Ice Age.
Yeah, I don't think I did, any fall term. I recorded one, and it was by myself. And then I did nothing else. And I've done nothing yet this term.
This is a good way to get back into it.
Yeah.
I'm honored to be
here
to
be
break
present.
the fast.
Yeah, to break the fast of the big picture. I'm actually thinking about seriously just sort of restarting a new show.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I don't
do you
know.
have ideas?
Yeah, I do. I not necessarily for names, but I want to just kind of return to a more chill, not interviewing people as much. If I get hit with the inspiration to interview someone, I'll do it. But I think since I set it up as an interview show, I've put too much pressure on making sure I only do it if I have someone to interview.
Yeah, and
rather than just having someone randomly come on or just be like, hey, you want to come on?
Yeah, and I don't know. Today's gonna be fun. I'm excited to just chat and have no purpose for it.
Yeah, really. It's just gonna be a solid time. I have no idea what it'll be called.
That's what you should call it. You should call it a solid time.
A solid time? I don't know about that.
A solid time with Matt Cagle.
But no, yeah, I want to change it into something a bit more, I don't know, improvisational to a degree, but also more allowing more creative freedom to do with it as I would want.
Absolutely.
Maybe I'll be struck once and be like, okay, we're going to interview someone. Or maybe another time I'll be like, we're going to have music on. Or another time we're going to, whatever it'll be.
I love that. You get to do just anything the heck you want.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm really glad I did those interviews, and I did a lot of them. I did over 20 interviews, which is nothing to stick your nose up at. That's a lot of interviews.
Yeah, you got around.
Yeah, and
you interviewed a professor.
I did. And I interviewed just a lot of people at Knox with really interesting lives, and I got interviewed, and it was a good time. And so I think maybe in multiple ways, it's the next step.
Next step is not interviewing.
Yeah, well, originally the idea of interviewing came from a place which is still very much in me, of wanting to hear other people's stories and really delving into that. And I still love doing that. But, I mean, I was really passionate about it at the time. I think because I didn't have much ideas myself. And I was very interested in, people's stories, their lives.
Yeah, taking bits and pieces, because everyone has something.
Yeah, and there are so many interconnected parts. The most consistent thing throughout all the interviews has almost always been this idea of pushing forward, persevering, getting to that next day kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's been a very consistent theme of you'll hit a low or something or what have you, and then
I think that's very Knox.
Yeah.
I think that's very
I think that's very life.
That's
and true. I think at our age a lot of people are hitting that first real life low, the low that isn't, I mean, some people have hit lows really early in life.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
But now we kind of get to hit lows on our own.
Yeah. By our own choices.
Yeah. Most of the time by our own choices.
And sometimes not.
Yeah, college is still, I mean, the real world will still
have more challenges, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But no, but that's very consistent. I have found through all the interviews is that sort of idea of oh yeah, Like,
Things suck,
well,
but they don't always suck.
and taking opportunities when they come, living a very like go crazy attitude. Like I'm pretty sure there's a quote somewhere up here from my man Rob. Oh, live life to the fullest. There you go.
Live life. Aw.
Uh,
Yeah. There's also the radio is gay. Thank God.
yeah, there's that. There's all sorts of things written on the wall in here.
I really like this.
Yeah. So it's been an experience. I mean, this radio show, I'm sure I've told you, it started off me and my good friend back home, Grace Reuter, when she used to go to this school. We started this show together almost on a whim. We're like,
Aw.
oh, let's do it. And it started off, we just like choose a topic, talk about it. We play music too. I used to play music on this show.
Ooh.
Yeah. And maybe in a way,
I think at some point we should definitely play some BoJack music.
yeah, so that's something. I binge watched a show by the name of BoJack Horseman.
How quick did you binge watch? I'm very curious.
I pretty much watched a season a day.
I would absolutely judge you for that if I wasn't currently doing the exact same thing
yeah.
with the exact same show.
Yep. And it's really good. It's on Netflix. I'd recommend anyone watch it. It's dark.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're in a really bad, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, it depends. I don't know. Sometimes I've been in really bad places and I've needed some, as like it's a comedy that kind of shows someone else in a really bad place and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. It does two things, I'd say. One is, oh, hey, I relate to this character, and B, oh, I don't suck as much as this character.
Yeah. No, and it's really, I don't know, the show, it's critically acclaimed for like representing all sorts of things, substance abuse, mental illness. It's just really critically acclaimed for like its, what's the word? It starts with a P. It's,
poignancy.
I don't know, like
paralysis.
it's paralysis. It's just really good at showing those side of things. So I'd recommend it to anyone. It's a really good show, and I got Adam to start watching it. He just finished the second season.
Yeah, I've watched it for 3 days now. When
Mhm.
I'm done with season 2, that's 24 episodes. Which we can do some quick math real quick. 24 times 20 is too
many minutes. Well, we spend a lot of minutes. Like, I think one of the saddest things, but also sometimes the most like, I'll sometimes do it to like jerk myself awake in terms of like productivity. It's like, imagine how many minutes a day we waste. Just like on our phone or like if you were to compile it, you probably waste anywhere from 2 to on some days 6 hours a day doing nothing of substance.
Mm-hmm. Which, like, sometimes is on purpose. I don't know. So, there's some moments, like, to ground me back into the real world.
Well,
I like doing things
Yeah,
that are totally substanceless.
but like I think there are things of substance that you can do that are relaxing, that you might not think are productive, but they're certainly substantive. You know, sitting down and watching a show. I think, especially a show like BoJack Horseman, I feel that's substantive.
So then what... I let's unpack this a little. What is substance?
I think it'd be easier to say what isn't substance.
Fair.
I think we put too much things in our day that are self-destructive. We go on social media and see other people's highlight reel, and then we kind of look at ourselves, and that's kind of self-destructive. We eat food we shouldn't eat. We perhaps divulge in forms of media that we shouldn't divulge in. Just anything that's like sort of self-destructive, I think, is not substantive. It's destructive.
See, I would say though that I don't know, especially watching things like BoJack Horseman and like watching kind of these spelled out versions and like condensed versions of people's lives. I feel like the entire substance of BoJack Horseman
Is destruction.
is self-destruction, and that is a substantive part of his life.
But I think it's good because it's cathartic. You're seeing someone else do it, and you're learning from that.
But it is substantive for him, even if it's negatively substantive.
Yes, so like negative events, making mistakes, while destructive, can be substantive because you learn from them.
Yeah.
But I kind of hold the position that like in our best, I mean, you're gonna make mistakes no matter what. Doesn't mean you should strive to make mistakes. I guess what I'm saying is like, we should strive to put substantive, not destructive things in our day to day. There's going to be times where you do something destructive. And as you know, as you grow older, you presumably get better at it, but there's always going to be some new mistake you might end up making.
Yeah. Also, I hear a lot of people, particularly like in college, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do something self-destructive today. Like I'm gonna skip class, or I'm gonna not eat a meal." Except I don't feel like that's really self-destructive. Like I feel like they're doing it because of some aspect or element of self-care. And I think in those cases, like it would be more substanceless to do this thing.
Yeah, I think there's subjectivity to substance, yeah. But so I would say there's subjectivity to substance. Like there's such thing as fasting, so you don't eat a meal. I think a lot of people go like, oh no, you should eat a meal. I sometimes go without a meal almost on purpose too. It's just fasting. You're just sort of like, you know what? I don't need to put something in my body. I can go a little bit without putting something in my body, and that's fine.
Yeah, I think we like to live our lives based on numbers a lot. It helps us get by, but like we don't need 3 meals. There's some days when I've eaten 5 meals and it's been perfect. And there's some days when I've eaten 0 meals.
And it's been fine. Yeah. And there are definitely scientific, researched ways to take care of yourself.
Yes.
In terms of your physical body and mental health too.
But I don't think you can really always live up to numerical standards.
And there's often, especially in psychology, there's a generalization a lot of treatment, because like you can't just go online and find a perfect step-by-step plan for your specific mental problem. Especially physical problems, sometimes it's easier, but even then,
I don't know, you go on WebMD and like
they're like, you have cancer.
Yeah, everyone does. If you have a headache, you're gonna die in 2 days unless you take these exact steps.
Yeah, I don't know, like, because the point of therapy, right, is you go and they give you like a personalized plan to help you get through whatever you're going through. And at least not right now, we don't have a generalized way of doing so. I don't know if we ever will have a generalized way of doing so.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. My mom's training to become a therapist right now, actually, or like life coach and health coach, and she's going through like intense training. And she came to me the other day, like over winter break, and she was like, I have been stressing out because this one coach who's been training me to coach does it in a very different way than I do. And I'm like, am I doing it wrong? Have I been doing it wrong this entire time? And the answer was no. The answer was, like, you're also a good coach because you do a different thing. But then, like, you know, everyone's results in coaching end up differently.
There are some universals we can look at sometimes. Like, there are some universal attributes. Like, a therapist, you should be a good listener. Things like that. Being a coach, there are certain aspects that you should have. You shouldn't be the kind of coach that yells at a ref. You know what I mean? Like, consistently. Maybe you do it once and it's an embarrassing event for everyone, but like, you know, my dad's a coach for basketball. And so there are some universals there. But you're right, there's flexibility in that. You know,
and even with that, I feel like me and you just took a class, a 3-hour class on listening skills.
We did. And
we kind of talked about how listening, even in different situations, requires a million different things.
Yeah. No, it's a lot to do all of that.
So I think going back to like waste of time or what's substance and what's not, I'd say the things of most substance are the things that lead towards some sort of fulfillment of some need.
Some sort of like, but also like sometimes I feel like, and this might just be a bit, I feel like we fill ourselves with things that we shouldn't be filling ourselves with.
Like what?
Oof. I don't know. A lot of like self-deprecation or I mean, we were talking about BoJack Horseman. A lot of people fill their lives with like substance abuse or fame or what have you, which are very temporary. I think sometimes we don't do as good of a job of filling ourselves of, you know, fulfilling ourselves, or maybe that's the difference. There's a difference between filling yourself and being fulfilled.
Yeah.
Would maybe be the thing.
There's a difference between substances and substance.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of people put temporary things to fulfill themselves that aren't, don't last. Be it a lot of people at college, they'll like try to fulfill their lives via a club or what have you, one event.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you need something that's more consistent to fulfill your life with.
Although I think also something I've been noticing, I work in the career center, and something I've been noticing is that people often tend to want like these big things as fulfillment. Like, oh, I don't have a major, I don't have a job, and therefore I am not fulfilled, and and so people come in a lot for help on being fulfilled kind of and finding fulfillment, and we can't
give that to them.
Not really. We can do our best, but like
there's small fulfillments too. I think going to the gym is very fulfilling.
Yeah, I know you've been doing that a lot more this.
Well, I actually have not been doing as much these last couple of weeks, but I need to get back on that train. But because it's really fulfilling and it's good, but then other things come along and they knock you off the wagon, as it were.
Yeah.
But I think we can fulfill our lives with small things, poetry, being with people you love, all sorts of things like that. And that's sort of the other talk. Speaking of career services, this might be a bit of a derailment. I've been thinking, especially today, about like futures, because I was considering the future of this show, right, and what that'll be. Because honestly, this might just be the last episode of the Big Picture proper.
Wow. If so, we got to do like a closing song, kind of a final wrap up, happy ending.
Some sort of happy. Yeah, we'll do some fun stuff, definitely. But like, I mean, the next show I do will share a lot of similarities because it'll still be me doing a show,
which is all in all the big picture. Of this show.
I don't know. The big picture was, I was thinking about this too, is me and Grace, and maybe, it's been like it'll almost be 2 full years since Grace left Knox, if it hasn't been already. And so maybe it's time to be like, okay, we've carried on that legacy. Let's do something new let's
forge a new.
It sounds weird to say, but like we'll feel more like mine. You know what I mean? Like by name and everything, it'll feel a bit more like my possession.
Yeah.
But I'm wanting to do that. I've been thinking a lot about like career.
Yeah.
Because senior year is right around the corner.
It really is. You're a junior and it's winter term already. Halfway through.
Over halfway through at this point.
Wow,
We're heading into week 7.
We are.
Mm-hmm. We're in week 7 right now.
We are. Damn.
And yeah, it's like the future has a lot of unknowns and you can't plan for it. But I'm happy to say that I'll be teaching at Elgin again this summer.
That's awesome.
That is confirmed.
Teaching improv.
Yeah. And I'm hoping to get with the Art Starts program in my local community to do that. Do other camps. I'm hoping to do some of the Bible camps again because I used to be counselor. Is that what they're called?
Camp counselor. Yeah.
Camp counselor. Yeah. You would be one of those. Though what would be really interesting, I probably want to do it right away, is if I know they often have people come and like teach little seminars. I'd love to try to teach like a Christian sort of improv seminar thing.
Ooh.
Which could be cool.
I highly recommend.
Because that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the process is. I have no idea what qualifications you need to teach seminars. I don't think a lot. Yeah. So.
And you probably have the qualifications.
Yeah.
If you've done improv, I feel like that's the main qualification.
Well, yeah, there might be age qualifications or what have you. I have no idea. But, and thinking about what I want to do with my life. But that's a big question because I'm only 21.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if all things go well, I have at least 50 more years if I were to die early 70s. Probably wouldn't with modern medical technology. I'll probably live to be in my 80s.
But regardless, you're not close to
And really,
done.
how long have I actually been alive in these 21 years? Because a lot of those were like formative, wasn't really doing as much as receiving.
Or like, you have less control over.
Yeah.
I think as a child, kind of your life is more like a product of
It's I
more
feel like
people's
you're more
lives.
intaking things than exporting things.
Yeah,
Um,
which I mean, you got to do both all your life,
yeah,
but
but definitely when you're a kid, there's less control. Like really, in terms of pure freedom to kind of do whatever I would like, I've really only had maybe 3 or 4 years of that in truth. Because high school, you have some freedoms, but not infinite freedom.
yeah,
You have to go to high school. You have to do things.
I wasn't allowed to leave my house
I consider
until
college
like
still.
mid high school.
College is like when you have that like ultimate freedom. Because I don't have to go here.
Yeah,
Theoretically, my parents would probably be upset. I could just be like, I'm done.
yeah, you could leave.
Yeah, within my power. I'm not gonna do that. But but like we have this sort of freedom, and it's like whoa, that's a big thing.
Yeah. Also, even just making friends,
Mhm.
like who you choose to surround yourself, also controls kind of what you intake.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. You get to control what you intake more.
Mm.
You get to pick classes.
Yeah.
You get to pick friends.
Yeah, you get to choose what you're filling yourself with a lot more.
Yeah, including food too.
Yeah. Oof, yeah. And a lot more responsibilities are put there. And so like and of course industrial psych, a bit more career focused, taking that class too. And it's like and I very much am in the mindset of like this next spring term and next year is very much going to be Knox College bucket list time.
Yes.
Just to like do things full-heartedly. I think I had the realization just today. I was sitting in the Gizmo and I was like I don't know, it's like sometimes I think we get in our own way too often. And I was sort of like, man, like I've been getting in my own way a lot lately, and it's like
How so?
I don't know if we need to share too much
Yeah,
on
yeah.
air, but like a lot of times you become kind of self-centered, not even always in like a positive way of like, oh great and all
Focusing
this.
on yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, so oftentimes you focus on yourself in the negative. Everything that happens you're like, ah gosh,
Mhm.
darn, why aren't you doing this or this? Which I don't think is a way to go about it. I think the question shouldn't be, why aren't you doing this? The question should be, or the thought should be, look at all these things you can do.
Mhm.
You can do it if you want.
Yeah. And you don't have to want either.
Yeah, I mean, you can just
But if
do.
you choose to want,
Yeah,
like yeah.
because I think oftentimes we judge ourselves too much for what we aren't doing or what we could be doing, and like getting in our own head about like the things we do. Yeah. And I think that's a consistent college age thing and high school thing too. Like I think just this age group very much gets in that mindset of like, oh my goodness, expectations, but also like in your own head about everything.
Yeah, there's a lot. I feel like college is the first big midlife crisis.
Yeah, of just you're in your own head and it's like getting in your own way, and like I don't know. I guess it's like I just said. It's like I've really only been. I mean, I've been alive, but I've only been like in control, full control of my life for maybe when I'm 21. So technically, 3 years. Because 18 is
Yeah.
kind of when you're able to
Yeah.
kind of do whatever in our society, which I think is good. I think you need those formative years where you slowly get more and more freedoms of what
Yeah, you
you
build it
intake
up.
and you build it up.
16, you're allowed to drive.
But I think that's why college is. I think that's why college is such a growing time, because it's like you're there.
Mm-hmm.
You've been prepared to be alive.
And I've truly also never loved myself more than at college,
Mm.
because I think there's more self that exists here.
Huh.
And I've had to find it. It's been a process, but like I've gotten way closer. I road tripped up here
Yeah.
this winter break in my car, and it was like I did it all alone. I was by myself and I had a blast, and like I really bonded with myself.
Yeah. No. Yeah. College is that. You learn about yourself, and you kind of realize just how much is your responsibility. Keeping in touch with people, that's your responsibility. No one is making you do that but yourself. Being a good friend, being a good family member,
Yeah.
All of that. That's all in your control. Your choices, your actions affect that, which can
Also like, yeah, um your role as a family member changes too, because now kind of peers,
yeah.
like, still, I don't know, still my parents are like,
And also, like, eventually there's a point where you'll be living on your own. Now it's your responsibility to visit and keep in touch with your family that raised you for those
yeah,
18 years we just discussed. Those formative, like, slowly reaching this point of, okay, the reins are off. You've had these 18 years of us telling you and giving you advice,
yeah.
guiding
Now
you.
do you come back? Now do you come
And
back for more?
and you know, you're gonna get more advice. You're gonna learn a lot more, but now it's up to you.
Yeah.
It's up to you whether or not you look for advice or ask for advice. It's not just gonna be given to you anymore.
Dude, my mom called me the other day and asked for advice from me,
Really?
which was a wild experience. Because I've been using my mom in particular for advice.
Yeah.
Over this past term, and then she called, and it's like a small little thing with like group she's running, but like it feels weird to be someone that like older people can look to now as like a person with valid opinions.
It's because we are adults now. Which a lot of times people go, no, you're still young. And yes, we are still young. And we're in that sort of early adulthood.
Yeah.
Where, you know, we ain't walking yet. We're crawling. You know, we're crawling in adulthood.
We're running though in kidhood. Like we did it. We made it.
We made it. Yeah. And
we freaking nailed it.
so I guess the future's just like this big, I mean, there's a lot of factors that are out of your control. So like student debt, you know, how much money your family had or has, your demographics. There's a lot else that goes into it. But in a lot of ways, there is this sort of feeling of like almost existential, like it's yours.
Yeah,
it's your choice.
We have to exist.
Yeah, and we're not handheld as much, and it's like,
although I feel like we're still very,
well, as if you go to college, there's institution. It's an institution that holds your hand a bit. That's what kind of what college, you pay them a lot though.
I've been realizing though that like
and not everyone
even
has
jobs kind of hold your hand
when you first get into them, and when you're in there, they kind of
like they give you a schedule.
Yep.
All these real world things kind of hold your hand.
But the difference is, okay, so a lot of this is like ideally, right? Sometimes your family will not be like this, but like ideally your family is there to kind of immediately hold your hand and kind of sometimes not let go even when you resist.
That is
because they're like, listen, you're 10. you can't really, you're not ready yet.
Yeah.
But what I guess what I'm saying is, yes, there will be other hands you can hold afterward, but like at that point it's your choice. It's your choice to go to that work. Ideally.
And I think that I mean, like, the only way you can really not hold anyone's hand is like live on your own, maybe start a farm, grow your own food.
Yeah.
Like, you can, there's a way to be fully self-sufficient, and I don't think most people take it.
Because it's nice to hold someone's hand. We've all done it. We've all held someone's hand.
We've all held a hand before.
Yeah, both literally and metaphorically. I think it's just nice to have someone by your side. Something, even. Just something by your side.
Society, capitalism.
No. And again, this is a lot of idyllic talk, because there's examples where this isn't the case, where your family doesn't hold your hand at all. You have no one to guide
and no
you.
pressure to like go back. Like, it's just because we're adults doesn't mean it's our responsibility to either be there for our family or take care of them.
True.
Like,
but like,
particularly those whose families kind of weren't there for them, I'd say.
Nor should families feel bad if their kids decide to go on some sort of completely self-sufficient rampage where they never
no, my family is completely spread out across the world, or like across the U.S. We see each other every so often, but like
definitely sort of everyone's off doing whatever. Yeah. I think it's just all about choice and what people choose, and it's a mix of choice and what's given to you. there's both things that we can reach and grasp, and there are things that reach and grasp us.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I've been thinking about nature and nurture some too, and it was interesting yesterday in improv. Um,
yeah,
one of
Emily
the
told that story.
hmm about how, like, no matter like your ancestors, or like how, where you come from, who surrounds you as you grow up makes a humongous difference in like who you are as a person.
Yeah, no, for sure. Who we surround ourselves with impacts us, and it's a lot to do with our childhood. But
Yeah.
I think even today, who do you surround yourself with? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's the question. Are you surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, who lift you up, who you can lift up? Right?
Yeah.
Like, who are you surrounding yourself with?
I'm so grateful for like the people that I've gotten to surround myself with, because like it's been a process for me to like fully like who I am, but I only am someone that I like because I've gotten so many pieces from my friends and family, like along the way and here at college too. That's like, okay, yeah, no, this is kind of reinforcing that I'm a good human being. Like, I like these people that I'm around, and these people have given me things that I like. I don't.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, I think. And we take so much from other people as we go around. I mean, that's what the big picture was.
Yeah.
It's taking things from other people. And whatever show I create next will continue to be that. In a lot of ways, it'll just sort of be whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever it needs to be at the time, it will be.
But I think no matter what, you're getting things like if there is someone on your show, there's stuff that you're taking from them. There's some viewpoints, and
there's a shared sort of experience there. Yeah. And I've interviewed a lot of people on this show. Josh Altoff, Liam Houlihan, Jackie.
Yeah.
Interviewed a lot of people on this show. Rob, Matt Malusky, Joel Schleicher. I've interviewed a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be interesting. I think my favorite thing about this show and my own show that I've started as well now is that like years from now, kind of we get to look back and be like, oh, these are the people we were friends with at that time, and I'm sure some of them will still like associate with,
and some of them will be like, wow, it's been a long time,
but like this was a person that I'm proud to have known.
Yeah.
And we have this whole 1 hour of footage.
Yeah, my show's technically 2 hours, so we can go for nice, 2 hours if we like. I don't know if we will. We're just kind of, though honestly, we're just sort of chilling. Like if we had SASP here, this would just be SASP Saturday.
Why did you do this now? I want SASP so much.
But no, and I look over these last 3 years, which would be my senior year of high school to now. I think with that freedom that we get comes so many like mistakes we make along the way. But I think that's part of it. I think when we first become our own person, it's like you make quite a decent amount of mistakes along the way. But also it's that weird thing that I think about a lot, like how much of a mistake is a mistake? Because if at the end of the day, 3 years later or 2 years later, however long it's been, you can look back and go, I'm who I am now because I made this mistake and I didn't run away from it. I didn't ignore it. I took that mistake and said, we're going to not do that again.
Or even if you did fully run away from that mistake, I feel like we are who we are because of all the total of our mistakes that we've run towards and run away from.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I just think in this, we're kind of referring to as like here you are, you're there. Like for sure you're technically alive those first 18 years and you progressively get more freedoms and all that sort of thing. But like, I don't know, at least in our society, when you reach 18, it's sort of like, you can technically just run off. You can just live your own life technically.
I think mistakes are, I don't know. I always get very existentially confused when it comes to mistakes and things of right and wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and like what actually matters. Because
Well,
I don't fully believe
we
it.
sometimes weigh what would be considered mistakes too much. We weigh it. We put too much weight on them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, and some people put too little. Some people will make a mistake and go, whatever.
Yeah.
And that might be too little. But, it's like you aren't your mistakes. You aren't the little stupid decisions you may have made along the way. It's like in
People
BoJack
give
Horseman.
themselves so much crap too.
Yeah, for anything they do.
Like people are so forgiving of their friends most of the time, and then they like do one tiny little
thing.
tiny.
Sometimes
little
it may not
thing
be
and-
tiny, but like, you'd make a mistake. And
and then they lose forgiveness for themselves.
yes.
So
And
quick.
like, and then people have this idea of like, so I know so many people, so many, like at least 5, because that's so many, who kind of have this idea in their head that they must be fooling everyone, that they're actually a bad person, and everyone's just fooled or whatever.
Mhm.
It's like people aren't that dumb.
Yeah.
It's just that,
And it makes sense that one could fool themselves into believing that they're fooling everyone,
Mhm.
because we do have differences on the outside than on the inside. Like I'll show, in different situations, I'll think things and I won't say them
Mhm.
because I'll be like, that's a stupid thing to think,
yeah.
or like this won't help anything,
We are so our thoughts and feelings are so immediate to us.
Yeah.
They're so there.
And we filter through them before we share them with the world, and so then it's easy to feel like a fraud sometimes.
Yeah. But like that filtering process is not bad. That's you exercising control, and you can work to change what is being produced in your head too.
Yeah.
But really, psychologically, by having a thought come up and you go, that's not a good thought. And you kind of go, I'm not going to say that thought. I'm not going to do that thought.
Yeah.
That thought will slowly stop if you don't entertain that thought as much. Like, maybe you see something and you're like, oh, stupid. But if you go like, why am I saying that's stupid? They're just living their life. And then you kind of move on. You slowly replace that negative thought with like, oh, they're living their life,
Mm-hmm. And that's, I don't know. I do believe that like people, I don't know. People look at consequences versus intention in judging people's actions.
I wrote a paper about this.
Ooh.
Remember? I wrote the What Makes a Good Person paper.
Yeah.
And I still agree with it in a lot of ways.
Yeah, remind me, what's the thesis statement for this?
People, to judge someone as good or bad is not to look at their actions, the consequences of their actions, nor their intentions. It is to look at what inspires them. What are they having inspire them? So what inspires their intentions, right? If your intention, right, is to get this cat out of this tree because it's stuck up in the tree, and that's your intention. You're intently going to do that. But your inspiration isn't love or...
It's the news story that's going to follow.
Yeah, it's the news story that's going to follow. Or... and, the thing is, when you intentionally do that, part of the intention might be knowing that a news story could come from you saving this cat. But what's inspiring it?
Yeah.
Is the inspiration for this intention, oh, yes, I'm going to be famous for a bit? Or is the inspiration like, I'll get attention for that, and that's a nice cherry on top, I guess, but like there's this cat stuck in this tree and I should get it out, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and I think that is an important distinction you're making, because like philosophy tends to like to boil things down to consequence or intent, but intent is so simple as like, okay, what action are you intending to do?
Yeah.
And then consequence is what is the result of this action that you've done. But the whole nother business.
Yeah, like your intention might be, ooh, I want to hurt this person. right? Your intention is, I'm going to say something that's going to really break this person down. And this is a really weird example. But like,
But I'm interested.
maybe your inspiration for doing so comes from love. Maybe you're like, this person is not doing well and is leading a bad life, and I need to hurt them. I need, like, your intention is to hurt them. Maybe it's like a breakup, right? You're like,
Yeah.
this is going to hurt them, and I'm intending to hurt them. But does your inspiration come from, oh, I hate this person? Or is your inspiration coming
And like
from...
I want to promote bad things in this world. I want to hurt
Yeah.
them to hurt them.
Yeah. What's your inspiration? Love, hate, lust, hunger, survival, rather, right? Like, what
Yeah.
is your inspiration for any given action? And so my paper was, that's what you base what makes someone a good person or not, from a philosophical point of view, right? Because the goal was to look at, like, what's a satisfying way to look at somebody and judge that. But then the funny thing is, with that thesis, you can't really easily judge another person. It's actually even hard to judge yourself by this. Because, like, it's hard to know what your inspiration is for anything. Because we can do all sorts of, like, loop-de-loops and twirls to convince us that we're doing this because we love a person. When maybe we're doing this because we're scared. Maybe our inspiration is fear. And maybe our inspiration is what have you.
Yeah, I think, well, everything's so muddy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So the part of my paper was saying, in which case, maybe instead of trying to judge other people, we focus on keeping in line our own inspirations and knowing where we're getting our inspiration from.
Yeah.
Are you listening to hate groups all the time? Are you listening to... Are you constantly entertaining thoughts of, you're not worth it, you're fooling everyone? And thus there's this fear of being found out that inspires everything you do. Yeah. Or are you inspired by what I positioned as, like, the good of, like, love and grace?
Something
and
I've been doing a
all that
lot
thing.
recently is making lists. I've discovered that that's a big thing for me. And I think it's very helpful to make a list of kind of, like, what you want to be. Or, like, what makes you good, kind of thing, and what you can do to make you good if you don't feel you are good.
So this is involved in that. There's this thing on the Bible app I was doing a plan, and one of the things it mentioned was an acronym GPS, which is an acronym to kind of look at yourself and write things down for each. It's your gifts, so your talents. What are you gifted with? Or what gifts have you been, that kind of thing, gifts.
Yeah.
Your passions, and your story. What elements of your story define you? Like, when you look back
That's
and
really
kind of go, like, what's my story been, even? Like, what's a consistent part of my story? And laying all those out and kind of going, huh.
I think it's really interesting, like journaling and that kind of thing.
So it's your GPS to life.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's the story part's really intriguing because I don't think people think about that enough.
Don't think about their own story.
If you have to write your autobiography, what bits would go in? What are the relevant bits, and what makes something relevant?
I think because life, your entire life, doesn't follow a story structure usually. Like, because a story structure is usually rising action. There's a conflict.
Yeah, and conflict's what gets in the way of the objective, right?
Yeah.
But with people, there isn't so much of an objective most of the time.
Sometimes there is, but, like, you're right. It's so vague, and there's many conflicts, and sometimes it's rising action, and you never hit a conflict. It just starts to fall again, right? Or climax. There's never really a climax. You just sort of fall in action in. Life doesn't really follow a story structure, but, like, in a way, that's what makes BoJack Horseman a good show, because yes, it does follow story structure sometimes, but if you look at the entire series sort of thing, like,
it's kind of disjointed.
It's a bit disjointed and amorphous, because that's, I guess it's just trying to, as best it can, artistically show kind of what life can be like.
And kind of the objective, or, like,
the idea of there's no happily ever after, there's just the morning after.
Yeah.
Right? That's life in a lot of ways.
Yeah. And the big objectives kind of change throughout. Although I think the super objective of the show is like being happy.
Self-actualization, like the top
Yeah.
of the triangle of needs or whatever.
Kind of going back to that thing of fulfillment.
Yeah, fulfillment. We all want to be fulfilled. And, you know, sometimes you get in that existential feeling of, does it ever happen? Is there ever, like, because we think about our parents or older people we know, it's like, are they fulfilled fully? It's like, but maybe fulfillment isn't, sometimes I think we think of fulfillment and we think, that's it. That's the story. You're fulfilled. But again, there's the morning after.
Yeah.
Right? Like, maybe fulfillment is less of everything's going to be okay. You're never going to make mistakes. And maybe more a full acceptance and understanding of sort of like, this is life.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you're going to
yeah.
cry. Yes, you're going to yell and scream at times. But at the end of the day, you get back up again. And whatever it is that gets you back up, maybe that's your fulfillment.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, my mom throughout my childhood taught me a lot about enlightenment
Mm-hmm.
and like that whole concept. And I used to think enlightenment was equivalent to happiness,
Yeah.
but I think that it's kind of the opposite of like enlightenment is everything. Enlightenment is happiness and sadness and like the crappiness of life, and being like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
That's how I interpret enlightenment.
Sure.
Is the big whatever.
Like, what are you going to do with it? What you recognize, okay, life is this way. It's ups and downs. It's the thing that I was told at that one Bible camp that impacted me so much, that there is more for you, right? That's life. That's why I love that quote so much, because it's like, or I love that phrase, because there's more for you. More is going to come.
Yeah,
Always. And it can be daunting, but it's also, it's like, yep. It's like a chest pound, like, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's life. And I think it's less a conscious knowledge of that fact and almost more of like we were talking about fulfillment, and I don't know. I'm 21. I don't fully know.
Yeah.
But, and maybe you're never at an age where you fully know. But maybe that's part of it. Maybe fulfillment is looking for that.
Yeah.
And finding your own way to it. It's having maybe faith that that you'll find whatever it is.
Yeah, or at least that it's worth a shot to continue.
Shoot your shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot your shot.
Yeah, that's the phrase young people say nowadays when it comes to asking someone out or doing anything. It's like, just shoot your shot.
Speaking of, you mentioned you have a bucket list, kind of.
What's on my bucket list? Yeah, let's move away from existential conversations and talk about fun things.
We'll get back.
I'm
It's
sure.
all related, but
and I might actually submit this today. I want to write TKS discourse articles that are like,
Ooh.
not most of what's on there political or whatever, because I know they sometimes do like almost opinion pieces that are like kind of philosophical, or maybe, I don't want to say philosophical, so that sounds pretentious, but like life stuff.
That's philosophical.
So, like, for example, I have a rough draft of one that's actually titled what's on my shirt. It's titled Shattered. And it's a conversation about the process of rebuilding after you're broken. And it's, of course, an opinion piece, because I'm sure other people have opinions, but, like,
Yeah.
just sort of I was discussing that, yes, being broken sucks. It's a really rough time, and you can see all your pieces, and it can be rough. But the bulk of it is talking about the creative potential and prospect of that.
And of like rebuilding kind of?
Yeah, because you see all your pieces around you. You can choose which ones you put back in. You can choose how you're rebuilt. And it's a lot about that. And it also supports like listening to other people's opinion on how you should be built, like maybe a therapist or friends, people who care about you, and looking at the ways you can rebuild yourself as something that maybe will break again in like a crazy new way that you could never expect. Or maybe you rebuild yourself in a way that prevents or protects others from being broken. Maybe, and there are some negatives too. Like maybe you end up rebuilding yourself to break others.
Yeah.
You know, but like it's your choice.
I mean, the whole thing is building a gazebo. It's you got your pillars, and then it gets knocked over in the hurricane, and then it's like you erect new pillars that are made of concrete or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh crap, I forgot to put on a roof.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think when people say they're broken, like maybe someone broke their heart, or and I talk a bit about like what being broken means, like what often causes that feeling of being broken. And
so you have written this article then?
Yes, I have written it. It's in the Word. I just haven't submitted it or looked over it again before submitting it. Mostly because if I start writing these a bunch, because they're easy, it's like 450 words is how much you need to do, which is easy.
Yeah.
What would I name the thing if I start doing it all the time? Because if you don't do it all the time, you just put it out there and it's there. But like a lot of people have like names for their discourse things, and I'm like, what would mine be? I recently, like last night, I rewatched The Fantastic Mr. Fox, and I was like, maybe I should just name this stuff like Fantastic Mr. Blue, because one of my sort of nickname, or one of the things I hold on to is like Mr. Blue Sky. Yeah. And there's a BoJack Horseman song called Mr. Blue that plays in the final season. That's really good. And
you are wearing all blue today.
And I am wearing all blue.
Blue is a representative
Blue
color.
is kind of, even though orange is technically my favorite color, blue is like second.
Yeah.
And it's, who knows, maybe by the end of my college career I'll be like, you know what, blue is my favorite color. But
that's
like,
the goal of college, I'd say.
To make blue your favorite color?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
But yeah, so like maybe I call it like Fantastic Mr. Blue or something in honor of because have you ever seen Fantastic Mr. Fox?
I think a long time ago.
Like a long time ago. Good film. It's a short film too. We should watch it sometime.
Absolutely.
But it's called that because Mr. Fox, he has like a newspaper thing called Fantastic Mr. Fox. Like he has an actual thing in a newspaper.
So his first name is not Fantastic.
No. He's so the Mr. Fox character, there's literally a line from him where he's like, I think I have something in me that, you know, wants to be the Fantastic Mr. Fox, you know, to intimidate people and everyone see me as this greater. It's a really good movie too. Like it's
for kids.
Is it for kids? I don't know.
Good.
Yeah.
I like those boys.
I mean, they don't curse. They say cuss. Anytime there'd be a cuss word, they just say the word cuss. Go, what the cuss is that? Like, you cussing at me?
My friend Penny, who works in the Gizmo, says bad word. And I think that's so funny and so much more effective than actual cursing.
Yeah, for sure.
What else you got on that bucket list of yours?
So we got writing discourse articles for the TKS because I love TKS. We have being in some form of theater productions, be it new plays or what have you. We have, oh my lord, we have maybe trying to do a terp.
Yes.
We have doing Bodies Week photos. We have, why not put like doing more things for the college, so like having admitted students or doing tours, something, working with the college itself.
Yeah, because Knox Knox is a good place to do.
You know what? We have starting a club. Why not? Maybe I can start a club. I have no idea what it'd be, but we can start a club.
What do you feel is missing on campus?
I don't know. That will be for me to figure out.
Like what energy? I mean, more than like an actual activity.
I don't know.
Because I know for me, there's not the one club that I've wanted to start since day 3 of being here
is Screaming Club.
Because I feel like the energy that's missing in a lot of these clubs is that pure chaos without like disorganized chaos. And I think Improv Club I joined because it's organized chaos and I love that. But I think we need something to promote the disorganized chaos on campus. And I'm sure there's some clubs that function on that, but I haven't found them.
Improv's pretty close, honestly.
It really is. But there's an element of like structure. There's rules. There's teamwork and collaboration and participation in creating something good. You
Yes.
want to do good in improv.
You want something that's not a point of it.
And I think screaming in general, like, you can scream however the heck you want, and like it's all bad, so it doesn't matter.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, those are a lot of them that are on there. That are on that list. That's pretty much it. It's on the list.
Yeah, I have a list somewhere. Also, I discovered that I watched, I think it's 9 hours of BoJack Horseman over the past 2 or 3 days.
9 hours?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's 2 seasons, baby. Gosh. I, last term, I believe it was. Yeah, February. No, that's wrong. But a few months ago, I started a bucket list document, and I was like, okay, cool. We got like 2 or 3 things on here. That's all I need. And now it's this long list.
Bucket list?
Yeah, it's humongous.
Well, let's give some examples of what's on there.
Absolutely. So one thing, and definitely the world should not know this, but I'm gonna tell the world.
Sure.
I want to get a bid for every single frat on campus.
Oh, okay.
I have a bid for 3 so far. And I definitely want to I want to get a bid for every single frat. I want to do it.
Let me guess what the 3 are. GQ,
Yes.
Sigma Chi,
Yes.
Sigma Nu.
Absolutely.
Because those are the 3 that you would be asked to join.
Mhm.
That makes most sense.
But I want to see if
You
I
can't
can
get invited by Fiji, Beta,
Yeah.
Teak.
all of them. I don't know what else there is. There's other stuff there too, for sure though. And I am not I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to join any frat, but I definitely want to get a bid for every frat. I've gotten, like, there's certain people on campus who I've made bets with throughout the years that they've agreed to, but that, like, we haven't actually followed through with.
Yeah.
So, like, my roommate Jasper promised last year that he would do a nonstop filibuster all day if I paid him $20 an hour. A full filibuster where he'd just stand in the middle of the halls.
$20 an hour, though, is a lot of money.
Listen, I'd pay $100 to have him stand in the middle of like a hallway,
Seymour Gallery,
and just talk for 5 hours, and he's not allowed to stop. He's not allowed to stop talking.
Even for like a quick drink of water, like
You can eat a quick drink of water counts.
Has like a water bottle nearby to.
Yeah, I don't want him to be unhealthy, but let's see. One thing that you promised last year was that at some point we'll perform My House in the Middle of My House at an open mic.
Oh, that's easily done.
It is easily done, but we gotta do it.
You get your guitar out and just.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do it.
Oh yeah, easy peasy. But we gotta, because it was established last year.
That's the other thing, maybe. I'm just thinking of more and more things to put on my bucket list.
Yeah, how about it? What?
I was thinking, write a song.
Yeah.
Because that's easily done. I write poetry.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be a good song, just
Not
a
at all.
song. Okay, there you go. That's another
We're
one.
actually thinking of starting a songwriting club on campus as well.
Really?
Yeah, we already. I say we as if I've had anything to do with this, which I haven't. But my friend Andy has already gotten like, the music guy on campus, the music professor Pierce Gradone, to like.
Okay, that idea.
Okay, it and be like help out with it.
Mm.
So like it's gonna happen,
Okay.
and that would be a great way to do that. One big one, the biggest one, honestly, that I have right now, is that I want to pick one year. I guess it's not going to be sophomore year. I'm thinking junior year. I'm thinking next year, for me, that I want to take a selfie with every single person on campus. I
Wow.
want to get like 1,500 or whatever selfies.
That'll be hard because you have to remember those you got selfies with and not get it with them again.
Yeah, I won't know exactly how I'll do it. It'll actually require effort and like probably a spreadsheet, which is like
Yeah, you would need a spreadsheet of every student on campus via the registrar, whatever thing, and then just go down.
which like I'm not gonna go around seeking out people necessarily
Yeah.
because I don't.
But you know, if you do that, you say, "Hey, what's your name?" and you get their name, and then after you take the selfie, you open the spreadsheet, go, and like highlight green, and then you're good.
It's like a little weird, but I'm fine with a little weird in order to like get to meet everyone on campus for 1 year. I think that's really cool.
And have a picture with them.
Like some sort of memory, and then like I can make a scrapbook or a collage or something. And honestly, that would be adorable. Like Knox would love that. I feel like.
Oh yeah, Knox would eat up that stuff. They'd be like, "Please let us use this
motivated
for
students for something."
Yeah, let's please use this for advertising. They'd be like, "Can we just own this scrapbook?"
Honestly, fine by me. I'm not doing it. I don't know why I want that, but I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, it's like a goal.
And it's not like particularly for myself. It's not like I own the rights or whatever. Let's see. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I have a couple of like performance-based things. Someone agreed to stand on stage with me and go brah 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 during a song. I wants to crowd surf.
Oh, that's doable.
I don't know how, but I want it to happen. It is doable.
Oh, I want to host a party.
Yeah. Oh, that would be fun.
Doesn't have to be big, just a party.
Yeah.
A thing that we could say, this is a party that isn't tied to an organization, just hosting a party.
I think that would be nice. I think that's...
Which, by the way, here soon, I'm going to start gunning, searching for folks to pull together for a Hamblin.
Ooh.
For a Hamblin living situation next year.
Hannah Hamblin. What?
You're on that list. I need to figure out other people as well who don't have currently a roommate thing figured out.
Absolutely. I feel like everyone's just kind of trying to procrastinate on figuring that shit out.
Yeah. So if I can jump on it, I can do that, right?
Yes.
I can just jump on it and be like, boom, boom, boom. Of not rushing anyone, of course, because that's always bad decision making. But like being like, hey, interested?
Yeah.
Because part of Tabletop House, the crazy thing with that is it was like a...
All happened in less than an hour.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, my plan for living situation next year is like, of course, having people over and having good times, but like, I'm looking forward to not living with as many friends. I am content to live with 3 or 4, which would be a Hamlin situation, like 3 to 4 people that I know and I'm somewhat friends with and could get to know better.
I think the more spread out also people are, the nicer it is.
Yeah.
Because I feel like kind of, again, things have kind of been handed to me a little bit for most of my time here, where like, especially freshman year, like my friends were primarily like
in your suite,
in my suite or in my clubs, and so then like I would see them through that, and I didn't really have to do any extra work. And so like,
yeah, that's
like, I got close with people, but I didn't have like,
there was
I
no
did it because they
effort.
were, yeah. Now like, I don't know, I think it means a little extra when people have to put work into seeing each other. It means people genuinely wants to see you and not just have to see you.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to having a living situation where, like, I don't know. I don't know. We can talk more about it later, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like, I look forward to next year's living situation, I think, in general. If I can get some of the people together, I want to get together to just, like, have a chill Hamblin suite. Maybe with, like, hopefully upstairs patio, right? Where we can just sort of have that chill space. Because the Hamblin suites are nice. They have stoves.
I want to have a baking day. That's another thing. It's not written down here, but I want to have it this term.
Really? A baking day this term?
Yeah, I forget where. Even I feel like Wilson House is the best bet.
Yeah.
I want to get a bunch of people over. Honestly, whoever wants to come, who I know. And what I do at home is that every month we have a cooking competition day where we buy like a certain limited amount of ingredients, and you all have to share these ingredients and make
Like a
something.
Chopped kind of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very choppy, except like and there's one judge, right? And this judge does not cook the food, but they do eat the food.
And judge it.
So
I'd love to judge.
And they have to eat whatever is made. So that includes, even if it's like bad,
floury, like ugh.
Like disgust, like that's
I'll
a
do
strategy. It's like people. I have often made food to torture the person eating. So it has to be someone brave and willing to not
just.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be a big taste. You just have to at least like
yeah.
Yeah, no.
And then it gets judged based on presentation.
Yep.
You put on a show, or you do something weird, or something that earns points. Honestly, I'd be happy to host for the first one at least.
And you can have multiple judges too.
Yeah, that's true too. But yeah, like, just in general, I want to cook.
Yeah.
I want to do that this term, and I want to live somewhere I can do that all the time.
And Hamblin's one of those. That's a cute photo.
It is. We've discovered. I like discovering some of the things on this radio show computer. There's a bunch of photos. Also, the Notes app, hysterical.
Really?
I discovered this last time. Particularly this one, a note left on May 21st, 2018. It's 10:31 p.m. by someone we have no idea who it is. And it's just all caps. Knox College in Galesburg, Illinois. 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 Hamburger. Need to find your socks, or we'll find Hamburglar.
We should really fix that leaky faucet, or Bush did 9/11. Bad thing will happen to the female person. The female person, him, them, it need to.
Spooky.
It's spooky. What's recently deleted?
Ooh, interesting. Yeah. Oh, that was me. Those were my personal notes for my last radio show.
Nice.
They also, I've discovered in making those notes, they have an auto correct where every time you type the word "you," it auto corrects to Hamburglar, which is pure genius, and
that's amazing.
It pleases me.
I wonder what you had to do to make that happen.
There's definitely some ways to mess with the system, but I don't know how. And whoever does is a technological genius, and I respect them.
Oh, for sure. The mood like changed as soon as the light in this room went off. The mood like became like calmer, chiller, and like, yeah. But
yeah, no, someone snuck into that room, flipped off the lights.
No, I think someone was in that room.
Yeah.
Left.
Oh, that makes sense too.
But no, this might be the last The Big Picture, which is nuts.
Yeah, there's something. We already talked about kind of overall theme of like pushing through the not so goods to find the beauty. Anything else though that you want to like that The Big Picture makes you think of?
Did some shows with Eric. I don't think like any of them were of good quality, and thus I don't think any of them made it into it. But that's fun and that's cute.
Yeah.
No, there was good stuff, a good show, and I hope whatever show I create next will be much looser, and thus I'll make a lot more of them. Because that's the other thing. I want to be able to just bring this mic around, and just like maybe in the gizmo be like, "You want to record something with me?"
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be on your regular
scheduled time. I can just sort of be like, "Hey, you want to record something with me?"
And then like they have 15 minutes, and then you record a 15-minute episode.
Yeah, or something like that. You can have short little. We can have like, I don't know what they'd be called, but like mini whatever. It's like booms. And I'd want to try to do videos too, like actual like recording things that happen.
I've been doing it with my
with your radio show.
With my radio show, super easy. I just recorded on my computer, like with my photo booth app, and it's like crap quality, but it's.
I want to get like a actual camera because I can't for the life of me figure out how to get videos from this to other things.
Yeah, it's real rough. Technology is.
But cameras, it's like it's built into it that you can do that, so it's like,
Yeah.
oh, good. So I want to get like an actual like camera.
Yeah, I'm actually considering taking digital photography next term, so I might have, depending on the funding my parents are willing to put in for this, a decent quality camera.
So yeah, next term I'm probably going to be taking a stats course, education policy, and then hopefully a third class that won't make me want to pull my hair out.
Yeah.
Because those two classes are going to be hard work. Because education policy, that's a 300 level course.
That is a 300 level.
And then stats is just the second stats that I have to take.
Yeah.
So
I'm
be a wild time.
taking 2 big education courses too, but no 300 levels.
Yeah, not yet. You will eventually. Probably next year is when you'll start having 300
Yeah, I
level
wanted to take
education.
some methods courses.
Mm-hmm.
No such luck. They won't let me until I've taken 301.
What's 301?
I don't know. But it's something that I need to take.
Who knows? Maybe I've taken it. I have no idea.
It's possible. I truly don't know anything about.
Oh, your major?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I know some numbers. That's essentially it.
But yeah, no, it's like, the end of an era.
The
As
end
it
of an
were.
era. Thoughts going into the new era?
I'm hoping I have a bit more of an understanding of like my motivations and things and my inspirations and my things that I do. In that whatever I start doing next, I don't know. I guess it's recently, like in the gives, I was saying like I had this recognition that like, whoa, like this life is like, it's like I'm there. I'm at like that adult point. It's like whatever you can do, you do, and not getting in your own way, and you know, not beating yourself up over little things.
Yeah.
You know, there's more for you. Not, you know, live in the present, enjoy what's happening, but also don't keep yourself stuck in a place, in a moment. Continue to go.
Because it's dreadful.
Crest to that next hill.
And very exciting.
Yeah, crest to the next hill. You know,
Crest to the next hill.
Yeah.
That should be the title for this episode.
crest to the next hill.
Yeah.
I like that.
Crest to the next hill. Also, it's just fun to say.
Yeah.
Crest to the
Like, that's grammatically correct too, right? Like crest
Yeah.
the next hill kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cresting as we speak.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. It's don't take that to heart.
Yeah. But like, and there will be other points too. And to say, oh, new chapter doesn't mean that, because again, life isn't like most books. It isn't like most stories. You don't have bookends really.
Yeah. The hill is like once you crest the next hill, there's the next hill.
There's another hill.
Yeah. And
And
first you got to go downhill.
yeah,
so that
again,
you
so you can go up another hill. You almost died.
Does this chair?
It'll lean back as far as you like. This chair will do it too. Just,
Oh my god.
you've been in here a lot before. Surely you've noticed this.
This leans back too far for my.
For your liking.
What? How?
It won't fall
Ugh.
as long as you don't like put too much weight behind. But you can just.
Yeah. I'm gonna be experimenting with these chairs more on my next radio show episode. 'Cause this is really fun.
Yeah.
And now I just want excuses to come back and swing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, I can just have this. Be like, hey, you want to record something?
Yeah, you can do it anywhere, and it's a really fun way to get to know people. Like you have like individual things now, individual recordings, of just interactions that you don't get if you don't have kind of this.
Or you can go, hey,
excuse.
you want to like find a quiet room and just record a thing with me?
Yeah, freaking the library has a ton of quiet rooms.
Taylor Lounge, even because to use the software, I don't need internet,
Yeah,
so I can just record.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Do it. This is a new beginning. This is the crest.
The crest of the hill. Yep.
Yes.
And like, I want to, I want to do some shows with my parents and other family members because I think those will be nice to have.
Yeah.
And all sorts of things like that. And then I want to, I don't know, PR it a little bit. Like,
put
get
up posters.
Advertise.
I can do it.
Truly do the things you do.
Do the things you do.
Do the things you do.
Do.
Yeah.
Which book ends this?
Yeah. I don't know. It's like when I try to think about like even just the big picture itself. Like let's say the big picture is a person.
Let's say.
Let's
call her Bertha.
Sure, Bertha. She was born as the show me and Grace did. It was just whatever. It was young. We didn't quite know what we wanted it to be. And then it became an interview show, and it learned a lot.
Now she's all grown up.
And she's going to die.
Damn. We're going to have to put her down.
Yeah, actually. And, she'll have a wonderful kid who will do wonderful things.
Bert.
I don't know if we'll give him a name yet.
Please call him Bert.
I don't know if we'll give him a name yet. But, it's like... And then this is me segueing into what I think the song we will play to cap this is. But it's like, what is the story of the big picture? I don't know. Maybe there isn't. Maybe it's like life. Maybe it's just like a thing that's out there.
A bloop.
A little bloop. A little tidbit or not a little tidbit, like something that's been a consistent part of my living. Like we were saying. Like, I've only been really 100% in quotation marks, right?
Yeah.
But, like, adult kind of free for, like, about 3 years.
And for what, at least, like, 1 or 2 of them,
Yeah, the big picture's been here. As, like, a thing to, like, do. And I've had so many episodes where I just talk about life.
Yeah.
Like, just me.
Yeah, that's true. Also, that like it's kind of in a way, it's like a strange way of telling your story throughout the years, of like who you are and how you exist and how the world is viewed through your eyes at different moments in your life.
Yeah. What is the big picture of it all?
Every episode is a little jigsaw in this painting.
That is the bigger picture.
Yes.
Because when we say the big picture, it's like, what's the big picture?
Oh, we've done it.
Yeah. But, like, that's the thing. Like, what's in the show, the big picture that was meant to, like, well, I mean, it was made as, like, the big picture, right? Like a show sort of thing. But it slowly, as it grew up, became, like, what is the big picture here in life by hearing other people's stories and things like that. And... maybe the big picture is the stories we heard and the interviews and the stories we experienced along the way.
Maybe the real big picture is the friends we made along the way.
Listen, it's cheesy, but maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe the biggest picture, the big picture we need to take a step back and see is every single episode. All jigsaw put together. Mm-hmm. Both the ones that are recorded and online and the ones that never were recorded.
That's true, yeah. And I think yeah.
I think even the missing episode 9. That'll always be that missing puzzle piece that'll never be put in.
Devastating.
The big picture.
The one that got lost.
Yeah. Which would have been an Eric episode.
Yeah.
And
I think that's
beautiful. Because that's life.
And each individual episode perhaps does not... They hold levels of individual significance, sure.
Mm-hmm. I don't have a dongle. Do you?
I do not. I have my phone, though. You can use mine. Mine will work.
Oh, yours will plug in?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's kind of what we're talking about. We're talking about... I got it. Sort of what we're talking about, the big picture. And I'm gonna unplug this because I think this will mean that it'll play on speakers. I have no idea.
I hope.
Who knows? We might not actually get to listen to what's about to play. which would be really funny.
Yeah. And if it doesn't record,
Is it the 3.5 one? You're the one who did this before, right?
Nope.
Oh, you've never done this before?
Absolutely not. But everything's on now.
We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, turn
Cool.
that on. Turn the 3.5.
And we're gonna stop. No, we're gonna stop talking. It's on. We're gonna stop talking because this is the end of the big picture. Go back and listen to the stories that have been listened to, because I'm going to.
Yeah, there's a lot of beauty.
There's a lot of beauty in those things, and
together they make the big picture.
yes, and boop, and we're gonna see if this works. Goodbye, everyone. This has been the big picture. Yep, it's playing. I don't think it's gonna play on speakers though. Oh, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's playing something else. Will it be? Oh, it might be Mac, honestly. Yeah? Hello?
Q?
No. How does this work? Tell me. Tell me, how do you work? That's not it. How do you work? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more.
Can we just...
I doubt it's on the iTunes thing. Yeah, it's not. Surely, is this thing even plugged in? That'll be the real question. I think it is. I don't think it's any of these.
We'll press them. And press play.
Also, why is this on? It also is like not plugging in all the way.
Yeah, hold on, I got you. Here, keep on experimenting with those bad boys.
Oh, cool. It's not wanting to plug in all the way?
But it's registering. That didn't.
That it is doing. We're just gonna go down until and then
Studio, maybe?
okay, so it's certainly playing in the studio.
Stars, they come and go. They come fast, they come slow.
But yeah, the quality's great.
Last light of the sun.
Whatever, we'll listen.
All you see is glory. But it gets lonely there when there's no one there.
I guess that's it.
To share. You can shake it away.
So listen to these lyrics. It's talking about stars, like famous people. You hear a story.
People lust for fame, like athletes in a game.
It sounds almost improvised, this song, which is what I love about it.
They break their collarbones and come up swinging. Some of them are crowned, some of them are down. Some are lost and never found. But most have seen it all. They live their lives inside cafes and music halls. And they always have a story. Some make it when they before the world is done its dirty job.
Do this.
Later on, someone will say you've had your day.
I just love this song.
It's so
Now
good.
you must make way. Don't they always? But you never
I'm pretty sure it's a
know
rule
the
that my
pain
shoes do have to untie whenever I do this.
of using a name you never owned. The years of forgetting what you know too well. That you who gave the crown have been let
No,
the
it's good.
down
It's so
and
good.
tried to make amends
Is it for Bojack?
without
Was this written for Bojack?
defending.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Yeah.
Perhaps
Perhaps. Pretending.
you never saw the eyes of young men at 25 who followed as you walked, asked for autographs, kissed you on the cheek. You never could believe they really loved you. Never. Some make it when they're old.
So we talked about the young, now the old.
Yeah.
Perhaps they have a soul they aren't afraid to bear. Perhaps there's nothing there. But anyway, that isn't what I meant to say.
I love this song so much.
I meant to tell about a story. Since we all have stories.
It's the big picture.
But I can't remember
Anyway,
it
the story.
anyway.
It's a good call. Good song.
So I'll tell about the mood that's in the United States today, and permeating even Switzerland.
Because he keeps trying to tell the story and then he gets sidetracked.
But I'll continue anyway until I get it together.
That's feel big. It's like a guy talking.
Yeah.
Some women
that's why I
have a
like
body men will wanna see. And so they put it on display. Some people play a fine guitar. I could listen to them play all day. But anyway, I'm trying to tell my story.
I love this so much because just he's like anyway.
Janice, he into it very
Is
well.
this at the very end of the series?
The third season. It's the end of the third season.
Janice Joplin told it even better.
He's just listing people who told the story better.
Billie Holiday,
Even though he's not telling it.
told it even better. We always have a story.
We always have a story.
The latest story that I know is the one that I'm supposed to go out with. And the latest story that I know is the one that I'm supposed to go out with. And the latest story that I know is the one that I'm supposed to go out with. And the latest story that I know is the one that I'm supposed to go out with.
And that is the big picture. Fine and dandy. That has been the big picture and will be the end of it. Who knows what I'll make next? Ends up playing out of those headphones.
Yeah.
Who knows what the next story will be? Adam. Wish whatever the next thing's gonna be well.
Good luck.
Good luck. There is more for you. There's more coming.
There is more for you.
Yep.
Crest that next hill.
Yeah.
Crest the next hill, Matt.
Yeah. There is a story to tell. And that is the end of The Big Picture. Who knows what we'll make next?
Oh.
All right, time to bury it. We're burying it.
Goodbye. Put her
Goodbye.
down.
We're done.
Put down old Bertha.
Bertha's gone.